Hello viewers, welcome to my channel PC Geo Kimberlite, a source of diamond. Today we are going to discuss an important topic from SY syllabus of SPPU Pune, that is the dinosaurs. This is the paper paleontology. We are going to see from their paleontology dinosaurs, eggs and bones. Now these eggs and bones we are going to see with reference to classification, morphological characters and geological distribution. I am Dr. Sajid Undekar, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Geology, AKI, Pune College of Arts, Science, Commerce, Camp, Pune, Maharashtra, India. It is affiliated to Savitribai Pune University, that is SPPU Pune, and formally it is known as University of Pune. Now the dinosaurs, eggs and bones. This particular topic we have been divided into introduction, definition, classification, eggs, then we'll see the bones, then geological and geographical distribution. First we'll see the introduction. Everyone knows the dinosaurs are a diverse group of reptiles of the clade Dinosauria. The dinosaurs, they will first appear during the Triassic period, that is between 243 and 233.23 million years ago from present. Although the exact origin and the timing of the evolution of the dinosaurs is the subject of active research. Still, it is a debatable is there. So we could not give you the exact origin and the timing of the evolution of dinosaurs. This is it is a research topic is there, and they become the dominant terrestrial vertebrates after the Triassic and Jurassic extinction event, which has been happened 201.3 million years ago, and their dominance continue throughout the Jurassic and Cretaceous period. So that is the age of reptile. Mesozoic is called as age of reptiles. The fossil records show that the birds are modern feathers of dinosaurs, having evolved from earlier theropods during the late Jurassic Epoch, and are only the dinosaurs lineage to survive the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction, that is KT boundary event, approximately 66 million years ago. Dinosaurs can therefore be divided into avian dinosaurs or birds and the extinct non-avian dinosaurs, which are all dinosaurs other than the birds. Dinosaurs are a varied group of animals from taxonomic, morphological, and ecological standpoints. Birds at over 10,700 living species are among the most diverse group of vertebrates. Using the fossil evidence, paleontologists has identified 900 distinct genera and more than 1,000 distinct species of non-avian dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are represented every continent. If you see whatever the research which has been taken place and wherever the fossil records we have been found, from there we can say that the dinosaurs are represented on every continent by both the extinct species, that is the birds, and fossil remains. Though the first half of 20th century, before the birds were recognized as the dinosaurs, most of the scientific community believed dinosaurs to be sluggish and cold-blooded. Most research conducted since 1970s, however, has indicated that dinosaurs were active animals with elevated metabolism, numerous adaptations for social interaction. Some were herbivorous and others are carnivorous. Evidence suggests all the dinosaurs were egg-laying, and that nest building was a trait shared by many dinosaurs, both avian and non-avian. First, we'll see the definition also. The first dinosaur fossil was recognized in the early 19th century with the name dinosaurs, meaning the terrible lizard, having been coined by Sir Richard Owen in 1841 to refer to these great fossil lizards. Mounted fossil dinosaur skeleton have been major attraction at museum worldwide. Wherever the mounted fossil dinosaurs are there, they are the major attractions at museum worldwide, and dinosaurs have become enduring a part of popular culture also. The large size of some dinosaurs as well as their seemingly monstrous and fantastic nature have ensured their regular appearance in best-selling books and the films, such as the Jurassic Park. Everyone has seen the Jurassic Parks, the animated picture, how the dinosaurs, whether the vegetarian and non-vegetarian, has been shown very correctly in that particular movie. The persistent public enthusiasm for the animal has resulted in significant funding for the dinosaur science, and now new discoveries are regularly covered by the media. The chief difference between the two major groups of dinosaurs is in the configuration of the pelvis. We'll see the classification. By the 1850s, it has been become evident that the reptile fauna of the Mesozoic was far more diverse and complex than it is today. The first important attempt to establish the informative classification of dinosaurs was made by the English biologist T.H. Huxley as early 1868. Because of he observed that these animals has legs similar to the birds as well as other birds-like features. He established a new order called Ornithocylida. He divided the order into two suborders. Dinosauria was the first and included the Iguanodons and the large carnivorous, that is the Megalosaurus, and the armored forms including Sedimentary. Compsognatha was the second order name for the very small bird-like carnivorous Compsognathus. It was primarily on the discussion that the English biologist H.G. Seeley established the two dinosaurian orders and named them Saurosia, that is the lizard hips, and Ornithocia, that is bird hips, in 1887. This differentiation is still maintained. You can see the Saurosia and Omniocera, they have been divided into two, and they are again subdivided. So this is the way the classification has been given by Seeley. Now this is, you can see the comparison, how this comparison has been given. This is a giant, what we have, Cosmognathus, then Tornodon, plesiosaurs, Raptor. In 2060, the estimated number of dinosaur species that existed in the Mesozoic was 1,543 to 2,468. In 2021, the number of modern-day birds, avian dinosaurs, was estimated to be 10,806 species. Some herbivorous, other carnivorous, including seed eaters, fish eaters, insectivorous, omnivorous. Dinosaurs was ancestrally bipedal, that is as the modern birds. Some prehistoric species were quadrupeds, and others such as an Archosaurus and Iguanodon could walk just as early on two or four legs. Carnial modification like horns and crest are common dinosaurian traits, and some extinct species had bony armor. Although known for large size, many Mesozoic dinosaurs were human size or smaller, or modern birds are generally small in size. Dinosaurs today inhabited every continent. Fossils show that they had achieved global distribution by at least the early Jurassic Epoch. The modern birds inhabit most available habits from terrestrial to marine, and other there are evidences that some non-avian dinosaurs could fly or at least glide, and others such as spinosauroids and semi-aquatic habitats. Dinosaurs egg now. Dinosaurs egg parataxonomy is a classification system that organizes Dinosaurs' eggs by descriptive features such as shape, size, shell thickness, though the egg parataxonomy originated in the 19th century. Li Kuizhuo from the Beijing, China, developed a modern parataxonomic system in the late 20th century. The eggshell protect the developing embryo, enable gas exchange between the embryo and the environmental external to the eggs, and the internal composition of the egg provide nutrients for the embryo. Those external and internal features support a developing embryo leave their mark on eggshells. Dinosaurs egg parataxonomy classifies those characteristics and provide insight into fossils, egg-laying behavior, and reproductive physiology and embryonic development. James Buckman from Bath, England, was one of the first scientists to formally name and describe the dinosaur eggs. He did so in his 1860 paper on some fossil reptile eggs. Faced with the task of naming empty eggshells, and Buckman applied a strategy similar to a system of biological classification, Carl Linney's 18th century system for organizing and naming the species. The Linnean system orders species into the hierarchical category of kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. However, because of the preserved embryonic remains are rare, scientists have little evidence with which to assign the fossilized egg to their categories. Instead, Buckman developed a classification strategy that scientists later developed into parataxonomy, a way to organize and study the egg without any knowledge of an egg layers, genus, and the species. Regardless of size, morphology, shape of the eggshell, provide the embryo is stable and adequate medium is called the homostatic medium. All the dinosaurs hatched from the eggs include extinct dinosaurs and modern birds, as to do crocodiles, the living group most closely related to the dinosaurs. Until 1980s, discovered of fossilized eggs and bones of young dinosaurs were extremely rare, but dinosaur eggs have now been discovered on several continents, and fossils of hatchling juveniles and the adult have been found for most major groups. One remarkable find was in Montana, where the fossil of duckbill dinosaurs, including eggs, nest, and hatchling juveniles and adult, were found together in one death assemblage or mass grave. The eggshell is in the nest were badly broken, assuring speculation that the hatchling might have been crushed the eggs while moving around the nest. Some paleontologists think this site was a nesting colony where adult dinosaurs care for their young during the first several months after the hatching. One of the greatest highlights of the American Museum of Natural History's expedition to Central Asia occurred in 1923 at the Flaming Cliffs of Mongolia. It is involved a discovery of eggs that after the first analysis were thought to be belonging to the dinosaur Protoceratops. Roy Chapman Andrews, the leader of the expedition and the future director of the museum, described the scene in his field notes. On July 13, George Osland reported the tiffin, that is lunch, that he had found some fossil eggs. We felt quite certain that his so-called eggs would prove to be a geological phenomenon. Nevertheless, we were all curious enough to go with him to inspect the find. We saw a small sandstone ledge beside which were laying 3 eggs, partly broken. The brown striated shell was so egg-like that this could be no mistake. Granger finally said no dinosaur's egg have been found, but the reptile probably did lay eggs. These must be dinosaurs' eggs. So you can see here, these are the what we have, the eggs which have been given in that particular first discovery of. The egg is composed of two phases: an organic phase constituting of sugars, lipids and proteins, an inorganic phase mainly composed of calcium carbonate that corresponding to the middle part of the eggshell. The function of the eggshell based on its architect to protect the embryo against the external environmental agent after the affecting. Now I can see here the section of this egg is given. This is the pore, cuticle, the top portion, palisade, then membrane, then mammillary cone. This is the mammillary cone, crystal layer, and the pore. So these are they have been analyzed and given. The majority of the dinosaurs eggshell found in the old nest in different parts of the world are prove enough to their existence. The following questions arise. How were they originated? How did these species are disappear? But most of all, how can we characterize the one unknown sample if it does not corresponding to the others in the nest? None of these questions have a simple answer, as we cannot travel back in time to be direct observes how that happened. Dinosaurs laid eggs in either of two ways. The characteristic one way is still found in modern reptiles, the other very way they resemble like that of the birds. The most primitive form of egg laying is still found in modern reptiles. Dinosaurs that laid eggs this way or the ornithischian, that is a bird hip dinosaurs. These dinosaurs existed until the great extinction. In fossils of egg laid by the ornithischian dinosaurs, the eggs are usually round. They are usually 20 to 30 nests and they are all jumbled together. Paleontologists think that the eggs in this kind of clutch were laid in one session as living turtles and crocodiles do. The other form of egg laying evolved later in certain groups of saurischian or lizard-hip dinosaurs such as Oira, Protosaurus. These dinosaurs also existed until the great extinction. Paleontologists think that they represent an evolutionary transition between the reptiles and the birds. Oviraptorosaurus laid oblong eggs that were slightly ovoid. One end is slightly narrower than the others. In this group of dinosaurs, there are 30 to 40 eggs in the nest and they were arranged in pair in a radial pattern like the spokes. So you can see here, they have been arranged and these two have been shown. Their radial pattern is there. So same diagram have been enlarged. A fossil of an Oviraptorosaurus dinosaur with a pair of unlaid eggs was found. The evidence suggests that the eggs were laid a pair at a time with an interval of least day or between the pairs. A clutch could therefore take days and weeks to be completed. There are several points to be resemblance to the birds. Birds lay remarkably ovoid eggs and there is an interval of at least a day between them until the clutch is completed. There are also differences. The birds lay eggs on one at a time and they lay fewer eggs in a clutch. Despite these differences and when considered with the other similarities in skeletons and feather among the Oviraptorosaurus, other more bird-like evolutionary speaking dinosaurs, birds, many paleontologists think that the birds evolved from dinosaurs by the way of these dinosaurs groups. Indeed, more and more paleontologists would go so far as to say that birds are dinosaurs, that is the flying dinosaurs. The implications are that the dinosaurs are not extinct and that the birds should not be classified independently as reptiles or mammals. Rather, the birds should be classified as a group of dinosaurs which are themselves classified as reptiles. Many questions will still answer before the matter is settled. The direction towards the head is called as anterior. You can see the anatomy of this dinosaurs that we are going to see now, the bones. So direction towards the head is called as anterior, that is towards the tip of the snout, and other referred to be a cranial. The direction towards the tail is called as posterior, towards the tip of the tail also referred as caudal. You can see here, this is the anterior side and this is the posterior side that has been mentioned. The back side where the spine is located is called as dorsal, towards or beyond the spine. The belly side is called as ventral, towards and beyond the belly. The lower jaw is ventral and to the eyes below, and nostrils are dorsal to the mouth above. Yes, this is the dorsal side and this is the ventral side. Run as imaginary plane through the center of the body, which runs from the tip of the snout of the tip of the tail, bisecting the body into a right and a left. The skeletal structures that are of the center of the plane are axial, and the skull, backbone and the tail are axial portions of the skeleton. The structure closer to the axis of center are called as medial, that is towards the middles, and the structures that are further away from the axis of center, that is called as lateral, towards the side. Dinosaurs are the portions. Dinosaurs are tetrapod vertebrates, animals with the bony skeletons and the limbs. All tetrapods, including the mammals, lizards, turtles, amphibians, and the birds, have the same general body plan, but there are variation in the posture. Many dinosaurs were biped, habitually walk on their hind legs like modern humans and the birds too. Other were quadrupeds, habitually walking on the all four limbs like cats, dogs, and horses too. Facilated biped usually walk on all four, but would occasionally walk on the two like a bears. Facilated quadruped usually walk on their rear legs, but will occasionally crawl on the four if the occasion calls for it. It is a living kangaroos. Most of the axial skeleton consists of the vertebral column, backbones, which are composed of individual vertebrae, singular or that is a singular vertebra. The vertebral column consists of the following four regions. You can see cervical, that is the neck part. Cervical, that is the neck part. Then the dorsal, that is the back part. The sacral, that is the hips. That is the sacral part is the hips. And the caudal is the tail. So this is the caudal which is given here. So here we have cervical, dorsal, sacral and caudal. Again enlarge the figure. You can see the words which have been given of that particular what we have, the dinosaurs. The particular skeleton is composed of the limbs and their girdles. The pectoral girdle and the shoulder girdles attached for the forelimbs to the dorsal part of the actual skeleton. Scapula, the shoulder blade face partly or posteriorly. So there is the one by one the scapula which will be there. Coradocoid, a bone on the ventral side of the shoulder blade. This is the ventral side of the bone has been given here. Clavicle, the collar bone are paired or separate in most dinosaurs, but in the meat-eating dinosaurs, the clavicle are fused together along with the middle to form a single bone called fursuca or wishbone. Sternum, the breastbone on the ventral surface of the chest. The forelimbs, and in the forelimbs we have the humerus. Humerus will be there, the upper arm of the bone which meets the scapula and coradocoid at the shoulder and the radius and ulna at the elbow. Ulna, the generally larger or more posterior to the foramen bones that has been shown here, ulna. Radius, the smaller and more anterior to the forearm bones. The manus will be the hand, that is the hands. We have been given this is a hand picture. The pelvic girdle attached the hind limbs to the sacral part of the axial skeleton. The pelvic girdle attached the hind limbs to the sacral part of the axial limb, that is acta pelvis. The pelvic girdle is composed of 3 bones of each. Ilium, you can see here, the ilium is written over here. The dorsalmost of the bones which connect directly to the sacral part is the pumice. Pumice is the lower pelvic bone that always attaches to the ilium anterior to the ischium, although the shaft of the pubis in some dinosaurs point backward. Ischium, the lower pelvic bone that is always attached posterior to the pubis and points posteriorly. So these are the 3 bones which have been given, how their position is there. Then hind limbs, they are similar to the forelimbs. There is the first, the femur, the thigh bone. Femur has been given here, the thigh bone which is there, that has been enlarged. The fits into the acetabulum by the femoral head and meets the tibia and fibula at the knee, and often the single largest bone in the body, except the small running dinosaurs where the tibia is often a larger one. Tibia, the main shin bone, generally thicker than the medial to the fibula. So this is the tibian bone. Fibula, the smaller than the lateral to the tibia. So this is the fibula which has been given. Pes are the foots, and this is the geological and geographical distribution. Say North America is there, Europe we have, then Mongolia, then Russia is there, China is there, part of India is there, then South Africa we can see, African part we are going to have, then Antarctica we are going to get this one. In Australia it is there. So every part, every continent which is there, that is there. Where did dinosaurs live? Dinosaurs live on all the continents. At the beginning of the age of the dinosaurs during the Triassic period, about 230 million years ago, and the continent were arranged together as a single supercontinent that is called as a Pangea. During 165 million years of dinosaurs, the existence of the supercontinent slowly broke up, and its pieces then spread across the globe into nearly modern arrangement by a process called the plate tectonics. The dinosaurs communities were separated by both time and geography. The age of dinosaurs, the Mesozoic, include 3 consecutive geological time periods: Triassic, Jurassic and Cretaceous, and different dinosaur species lived during each of these 3 periods. For example, the Jurassic dinosaurs is Stegosaurus has already been extinct from the approximately 80 million years before. At the beginning of the dinosaurs history, the Triassic period, there was one supercontinent on the earth is Pangea. Many dinosaur types were spread across it. However, the Pangea broke apart, dinosaurs became scattered across the globe on separate continents, and new type of dinosaurs evolved separately in geographia area. So this is the enlargement that we have given you, how this arrangement and whatever the species which have been found all over the world, it has been mentioned, and these are the various types of reptile with their names. So with this we have been completed the topic dinosaurs, eggs and fossil with reference to their characters, their geological geographical distribution and the definitions. If you have any problems, you can write down in the comment section. I will try to answer and try to satisfy your queries. Thanks for watching my video. If you want to see many videos I have been uploaded on my channel on paleontology, stratigraphy, these are the 2 structural geology, especially structural geology, paleontology, micropaleontology, megapaleontology. Then the stratigraphy is also uploaded, igneous petrology, sedimentary, which one, and most important one, crystallography. Practically, I have been explained all the system, 7 systems are there. Then practical first BSc practical, that is physical properties of mineral, then the microscopic properties of the mineral in PPL and cross Nicole. So all these are there on my channel. If you are interested, you can go and join this channel PC Geo Kimberlite, Source of Diamond, and watch, and accordingly. Similarly, there will be a scholarship column is also there. Those who are interested for the national scholarship, it has been there. And slowly I'll start with the international scholarships. Thanks. Have a nice day.